I'm Brad Halliday, and today we're going to go over my take of the Los Angeles Lakers firing Frank Vogel. The Los Angeles Lakers have fired their head coach, Frank Vogel, this morning of April 11, 2022. The Lakers went 34-39 during their 2021-2022 regular season. They weren't able to even qualify for the play-in tournament this 2021-2022 season, damn it. On paper, this is a team that consisted of stars like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Kendrick Nunn, Dalen Horton Tucker, plus other bench players that had completed the Lakers bench. Yeah, on paper, they looked amazing before the season began. Definitely a top 5 team in the NBA for sure, at least that's what we all thought. But on the floor, we just saw too many issues with this team that affected their regular season records. This included injuries, this included their chemistry on and off the court, and to which finally led to a decision to finally fire Frank Vogel, or make the Frankie the scapegoat for the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's go section by section. How did we get here? Well, when Frank Vogel got hired by the Los Angeles Lakers in May 13, 2019, those were good times, as their second choice for the Los Angeles Lakers head coach position. Let's be sincere. He was actually their third choice from what the original rumors were. Yes, you heard me right. The original head coach was supposed to be Tyronn Lue, who was under negotiations with the Los Angeles Lakers prior to the hiring of Frank. Tyronn coached LeBron during the championship run with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he also was part of the Laker dynasty with Kobe, Shaq, and he was under the tutelage of the great Phil Jackson. Unfortunately, Ty Lue didn't sign with the Lakers. What happened? Well, according to a recent rumor, the Lakers only wanted Ty to be a placeholder for the Lakers coaching position, where all major decisions would come by the management and LeBron James and Anthony Davis, of course. To be exact, the quote that Tyronn Lue said was exactly this: the Lakers, more so as like, I'm just coming to coach LeBron? No, I'm coming to win, man. I just didn't think I was treated fairly. Ty Lue couldn't accept this because he needed to coach a team that was molded by his standards and was trained by both Phil Jackson and Doc Rivers, which meant he needed his team to listen to him. The second choice, the true second choice for the head coaching position for the Los Angeles Lakers was Jason Kidd, who had previous coaching experience with the Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Heck, he even took the Nets to a championship game. He had personal demons that, well, they were well known to the NBA family, and that it affected the decision for the Los Angeles Lakers to make him the Nets head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers team, headed by LeBron James. Instead, they wanted to groom the guy into the position, which is kind of weird because he was already a head coach before, but they just wanted to give him a better look PR-wise. So what they did was they placed him as an assistant coach for whoever the next coach was going to be. And the plan was then he would subsequently be the next coach for the Los Angeles Lakers once the new guy got fired. But who was the new guy? Well, it was Frankie Vogel. Next, we're going to look at the team chemistry. Not even just within the players, but also within the organization. Let's not get it wrong here. The Lakers wanted all at the beginning of Frank Vogel's tenure. And it was a great experience for the Los Angeles Lakers, especially after all the things the city went through in regards to Kobe Bryant's passing. And the city being shut down because of the illness that was going around the world at the time. But let's be serious for a second. After they won the championship, the years just sucked. The team sucked. Some players just left the team looking for money. And those that replaced those players, they weren't equivalent, nor did they have an ounce of chemistry with a LeBron and AD team. And whose team was built around those two players. Alpha males, or as I like to call them, divas. In this section of the video, we're going to go over what the alpha males did to the team. The Lakers sought out big names and stars in the later half of Vogel's tenure with the Los Angeles Lakers. They went to Dwight Howard, they went to Carmelo Anthony, Rajon Rondo, Russell Westbrook for this 2021-2022 NBA season. The big issue with the divas I should say, alpha males, is that they all want the main floor general position. Even if their position doesn't ask for it. They want the ball. They want to shout and argue with their teammates when they mess up or when they don't pass that alpha male the ball. They expect to have the ball at the end of the game and be the go-to scoring player that leads the team to a win. You can't do this in a team full of all-stars where their head honchos are LeBron James and Anthony Davis. How can Frank Vogel have every player's ear when they all thought that he was just a team placeholder for LeBron James? A coach placeholder for LeBron James. How can you listen to a coach that took this job for the money and not for the love of coaching guys and teaching them the ropes around the NBA or to have a good NBA basketball system in place? Let's be serious. The biggest diva of them all is Russell Westbrook. Let's go in reverse to this timeline of Lakers divaness. First, in his last exit interview, Westbrook said this: "I'm not sure what his issue is," Frank Vogel's issue, of course, was with me, or I'm not sure why. I can't really give you an answer why we never really connected, but that's something that he has to answer. But I never, from the get-go, was feeling like I was having to try to prove myself to him and my capabilities and what I've been able to do in this game. It's unfortunate, but it's out of my hands. Russell Westbrook wasn't enough by his former teammates in all the previous teams he was with: Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston Rockets, Washington Wizards. So why the hell would he put blame on Frank for these chemistry issues they had? I would totally agree with him if he was beloved by his former coaches and players, and if he came out and said, "Hey, we love Russell," then yes, I would give Russell the benefit of the doubt and put some blame on Frankie Vogel. Yet when you see how Russell is constantly getting mad at the fans, at his referees, and the players, well then, you tick the guy off. And it's hard to give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, some of the times it's fans' fault or players' fault, but he's been in so many teams now, and he's not worth the drama for the Lakers, and we all know it. Heck, the Thunder knew it, the Rockets knew it, and the Wizards knew it. That's why they traded him. But those teams are much better now, while the Lakers, they're making plans for Cancun. Continuing on to Russell Westbrook's timeline. He hates being harassed by the Laker fans or any fans in particular. Russell said in late February or March that he didn't want his family members, even his young children, to attend Laker games because of the things they might hear about him. Well, we all get it. We hate being called names for the way we are playing on the court by the fans of the opposite team. Notice how I said opposite team. But that goes with the job. Yet when it's your own fans from your own team yelling at you, Westbrook, you shouldn't feel like you're getting harassed. They're actually showing you love. You're making millions of dollars. You come out on advertising videos. You have your own clothing company that is being rated and reviewed by customers on both Google, Yelp, and other review sites. Let's be honest, you can take the as a true sports fan, or sports player I should say, but you don't want to take it. Hold it in. Yes, you sometimes show your anger and it affects your gameplay or vice versa. Everybody ages and their shooting abilities, passing or defense changes throughout the time in the NBA. I, as a fan, have the right to pay for a game, sit on the court, or sit in the seats, I should say, or even watch a game on my TV and boo your ass, or even boo the opposing team when they suck, or when you suck, especially when it's on purpose for dumb shit. I said it. There was a comment that he made previously, and that really made me mad. Pissed me off. He said it once this year that there was no actual impact by the Lakers fans on games. The exact quote was, "I don't pay attention to this crowd." I'm sorry, hold on, let me do the diva thing. "I don't pay attention to this crowd, to be honest." Let me tell you something, boy. And I say boy because you're a kid. You're an emotional idiot for saying this. For starters, the fans pay your salary. A high salary that back in the day was worth it for any team that wanted you. Even if your ass was an emotional player, which was always disgruntled, and had issues with your own teammates, had issues with the coaching staff, had issues with the referees, and the fans. The Laker fans are the fans that buy your jerseys. They buy your own brand of apparel, but you'd rather offend them and offend the fans than say something smart. Well, here, I'm going to tell you what you should do. You should say absolutely nothing. Let's talk about injuries. Yes, injuries affected this team big time. Unfortunately, the team is made up of high-cost players and dumb trades by management. I'm looking at you, management. Let's look at LeBron James' salary. He was worth $41,211,146. Anthony Davis, $41,180,544. While Russell Westbrook, $35,361,544. That was only this year. Their salary was so friggin' high. And two of these players were constantly injured for a long period of time and at different times of the regular season. This affected the team chemistry and the ability for the bench players to assume the missing roles, as they didn't think that in the future the All-Star players, once they came back, would be playing the same amount of times that they were playing while the players were injured. In other words, they weren't going to get those minutes back. They weren't going to contribute. Also, the morale was extremely bad once you hear a star is down. And the least of all, the morale with the bench was horrible. Extremely horrible, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. I know it. LeBron, Anthony, they all know it. Anthony Davis, it went down with an ACL sprain. LeBron James went down in the later part of the season with an ankle injury. Kendrick Nunn had bone bruise all season. Those bone bruises are bad. They're bruised bones. Okay. Other players were injured throughout the season for a period of time that forced the Lakers to get players like Trevor Ariza, Isaiah Thomas. They come in for a period of time, short contracts, and help the team out. Did they? I don't see any contribution from them at all. This is actually the moment that Frank Vogel should have shown the Lakers and the fans what he was made of. A coach needs to have many skills on the court as well as off the court. The biggest thing he would have done was brought the team together while the injured players were out, the All-Stars were out, and try to increase their morale. Ensure them all that they can win without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Sure, they weren't going to win all the games, but at least have them think that you can win a majority of them and reach the playoffs. Look at Tyronn Lue and what he did with the players on the Los Angeles Clippers this 2021 season. With Kawhi Leonard out and Paul George out, he motivated his team, showed them that they could win without the All-Stars, and he showed them hard work and incredible plays. They worked as a team, and they are in the postseason, the playoffs. Now they have Paul George. I think it's sad when you see LeBron James walking back to the dressing rooms as your team is playing, and you didn't make the playoffs. I think that's it. Management and ownership. Let's be honest, the mistakes were mostly made by management and the ownership group. I'm looking at you, Jeanie. I'm looking at you, Rob. But if we have a plan that worked one year, in this case the championship year, their teams will modify their game plan to better themselves and outbeat you the next years. When you were the Lakers, a team loved by many people all over the world, you have to be consistent in improving your team on a yearly basis. This doesn't mean go out and get some starting all-star players to add into the starting team, starting five. No, it means you need to help your current all-stars by acquiring great bench players and modifying or improving anywhere in the all-star starting five. Step. A team wins a championship with key bench players that can come in and replace your all-stars for 5 to 10 minutes per game and hold the lead or provide the needed defense or spark that damn needed spark. This team has no consistency. They had no leadership in players both in the starting five as well as the bench while LeBron and Anthony were out. Remember Jason Kidd? He was the offensive assistant coach when they won the championship. Well, he left, and they don't replace him with an appropriate alternate. He brought leadership. He was a go-to person for the players that understand how to treat people and how to improve their offense. He was the counselor, the mentor, as well as their coach. Tyronn Lue clearly stated that when negotiating with the Los Angeles Lakers, all that management wanted was for me to coach LeBron James, nothing else. Well, when Phil Jackson was the Lakers head coach, he challenged the players. He had Shaq, and he had Kobe, and Paul Gasol. He knew how to take control of the players' mentality where they can be confident even when things go wrong. Ty Lue came from that type of breed. Management should take responsibility for all their weird chess moves they made this season. Not put all the blame on Frankie. In a press conference, the Los Angeles Lakers general manager, Rob Pelinka, Pelinka, stated that he wanted to hire the new head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers before the June 2022 NBA draft. So who are the candidates? Well, whoever the coach will be, the person needs to have the following qualities in my humble, gentle opinion. 1. He must be able to learn to coach LeBron James teams. This means that the coach has to know when to give LeBron James the free reins of scoring and defense and guiding his players when on the court. But that coach must also know when to tell LeBron, hey, this is wrong. We need to play my way to succeed. Get the reins back. Don't tighten it up and bring it back. Just like, sometimes LeBron needs that. Sometimes the team needs that. They need to see leadership. Now, the coach must also be tough, strong, very intelligent, and relatable to the players depending on the moment and the need for the team, both on the court as well as off the court. There are too many divas or alpha males in this team that want their own time on the court and their time to take over without even consulting with a coach. Well, every player on that team must know what the concept of team basketball means, and that a me type of attitude isn't going to work here. Okay? This is team basketball. The key word in my last statement was team. Chemistry is about teamwork. Not one player can lead a team in the whole season. He might be a superstar, but he needs help constantly. The best resolution for a coach or team is to win, ladies and gentlemen. Winning cures all, even the fans' disappointments of their own team. The coach should have, must have playoff or championship experience. When he's questioned by a player, they have to have the balls to tell that player, I know what I'm doing, bro. I've been here before, bro. Or see this ring. When you get to coach your own team and win one of these, you can override the player's request like I'm doing with you right now. Until then, shut up and listen to me. Be a team player, buddy. I'm here for you, okay? I'm here for you. The coach must also have the balls to tell management, hey, Rob, or hey, Jeanie, look. I know you want to get this player for LeBron. I get it. I do. Come on, I get it. But that's not what's best for the team. It's not. A proper playbook or strategy is important to know what type of player is needed in each scheme. It's too early to speculate, but there's definitely some candidates that can be considered to take the reins as the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Some of these names that have been out in the journalism field are Toronto's head coach, Nick Nurse. He's definitely going to nurse the Lakers if he comes in. He's already a champion. Michigan coach, Juwan Howard. Sounds like Quan. Juwan Howard. He's a great motivator. I think he played with LeBron in Miami. Clippers coach, Tyronn Lue. He's not coming. Not if this happens again. He's got a great thing with the Clippers. Richest owner in the league. Management loves them, brings them in, good players. They're smart. This management isn't as smart as the Clippers. Management, president, Jerry West, that's all I'm going to say. They have Jerry West. That's why he would stay. And of course, my man, Phil Jackson. Whoever the coach is, I hope the Lakers make the right decision. For the fans. For the team. For LeBron. Can we all do it for LeBron? He needs help. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Ryan Holiday for My Take, a part of All Sports Network. But if we want to know what your take is, what is this bullshit gonna have to lead to? In other words, who's gonna be interviewed? What people are gonna be interviewed by the Los Angeles Lakers for the head coach position? Well, the Lakers just want a coach that just pretty much says, you're coaching LeBron and whatever he says goes. Or do they want a coach that says, look, I don't want this player for our team. Bring this player instead. Or bring this type of player instead. Or will it be yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir type of coach? Let us know in the comment area. Tell us what you think. Again, this has been on holiday for my take. We want to hear what you say. Let us know in the comment box. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.